It's been 10 years since that first unlikely team-up of fluffy feline and tiny automaton, and to celebrate, Sony have bestowed the original Ratchet and Clank Trilogy on us, now in glorious HD. But does the HD crank things up a notch, or is it a clunking mess? Here's the review.
Ratchet checking in, sir.
Things started off pretty simply for this long-lasting partnership. Stranded mechanic Ratchet is surprised one day when a ship containing clever little Clank crash lands nearby. After rescuing the robo from the wreck, Ratchet decides to help Clank out on his mission to stop Supreme Executive Chairman Drek from destroying planets, harvesting their parts, and creating a utopia for his people, the Blarg. That's a weird name. After saving the galaxy and gaining a little bit of celebrity, the twosome take time off, before being sucked into a quest to save a different star system altogether in Ratchet and Clank 2. No rest for the wicked, eh? Ratchet and Clank 3 deals with galactic invasion, biological extinction, and the mad ramblings of the evil Dr. Nefarious. The series may not reach for the stars in terms of narrative originality, but the stories are told with a charm and, more importantly, a humour that make them utterly endearing. In gameplay terms, expect to be doing a lot of running and jumping across this trilogy. Each planet environment is a miniature adventure, twisting and turning through colourful cartoon lands. The styles are bold and vibrant, from oppressive purple prison planets to glimmering metropolises. Everything seems like it's teeming with life, and despite the linear structure, never feels like a procession of corridors. Helping this along are the multiple routes through the world. Branching paths that require certain skills or upgrades will often net you new gadgets. It's the promise of hidden goodies that will have you exploring every nook and cranny as you blast your way across the galaxy. But it's the arsenal that you'll be blasting with that's the real standout here. The Ratchet and Clank series has the most inventive, humorous, and destructive weapons cabinet in all of gaming, hands down.
I am unsure about your logic.
It starts with basic blaster pistols and bomb-throwing gloves, and ends with swarming rocket launchers, ninja-star saw blades, and morph guns that turn enemies into chicks. In these first 3 games, you can purchase new weapons at holographic vendors, using the in-game bolts currency found by smashing crates and busting enemy chops. The incremental series of upgrades gives you time to get used to each weapon, strategize their best use before giving you another new toy to play with. Ratchet 3 expanded this system further by leveling up weapons the more that you use them, allowing you to have a handful of ultra-deadly favoured weapons by the end of the game. However, some of the fun is sucked out of these superb shooters by the lack of lock-on.
I suppose.
Even when you switch to a more accurate first-person viewpoint, hitting your targets can be a frustrating case of trial and error. A fact that's going to lead to some near-rage quits when you get to the tough final sections. Swarming enemies in confined spaces prove especially problematic when wielding your equipment proves so dang unwieldy. It's by no means a game breaker, but it's a fault the series has remedied over time, making it stand out all the more in this initial trilogy.
You sure showed him.
I suppose I did.
A certain degree of old-school frustration was something we were totally expecting going into these 3 gems. But what we weren't expecting was for them to stand up quite so well. With an excellent HD upgrade, these games almost match up with contemporary titles. Couple that with quality voice acting.
Did you see all the cool gadgets they're making?
That was ahead of its time 10 years ago, and these games seem surprisingly modern. But it's when Ratchet and Clank gets its compulsive claws into you that you'll see why these are considered platforming classics. Even though the excessive box smashing may seem like filler, it sucks you in so simply and elegantly that you'll be hunting down every crate you can find.
You think too much. Come on, let's go.
It's this simplicity and elegance in core gameplay that makes the Ratchet and Clank trilogy a must-own. This is one collection that wasn't just bolted together to make some money, but lovingly manufactured to celebrate 10 years at the top for its dynamic duo.
That was terrific.
Yeah, great. Change the channel.